the natural of DRG. Looks like he's going to have enough lings there to be able to deal with it, but nice unit positioning here from Rain. He's going to be able to shoot down from the low ground. These lings won't be able to do anything about it, and actually doing quite a bit of damage here. A lot of lings actually falling right now, being forced to pull all these drones off to the extractor, something that sometimes players do to try to defend their drones, just because it's one way to keep your drones all nice and tight, packed up to one side. And looks like mutas are now out on the field for DRG. Lings now moving in. Looks like they are going to be able to pick off most of these Marines, but getting some nice micro here from FnaticRain. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off most of them. A couple Banelings not quite connecting. We do not yet have Baneling speed on the way. I'm actually surprised. We are almost at the 12-minute mark right now. We do not have Baneling speed yet for all those Banelings on the map, and that's actually kind of surprising to me. It's very common for players to have Baneling speed by this time at this point in the game, in that if you are going for that Zergling Muta Baneling style of play, you definitely really need those Banelings to be able to deal damage and take out a lot of these Marines. And if they don't have that Baneling speed, it can be very difficult to do, just because Marines can pretty easily kite them, especially Marines with stim like FnaticRain does have right now. Now, Rain actually getting up the second base surprisingly slow. Let's check out that Harvester count right now. We can see that the Harvester count is actually 62 to 50 right now. Dongraegu in a pretty good space, could do with a few more drones, but not too bad overall. Rain just now taking his third and fourth gas, so these are very late third and fourth gas geysers for him. He's been focusing on very mineral-heavy units up till now, focusing on lots of Marines, and it looks like he's going to be moving out right now. Some Marines stimming out right now, taking out creep tumors, making sure that creep is staying very pushed back on his opponent's base, so very smart play there from Rain. In the meantime, we now have siege tank production beginning here for Rain, as we have a factory now producing siege tanks. We've got that starport swapped on that reactor, so interestingly enough, used that reactor to produce a few Hellions so that he could get some ground support, as there were a lot of lings on the map. But now, as we can see, he has decided to swap that factory for the tech lab and swap that starport onto the reactor so we can start double producing medevacs, transitioning into a very standard style of play. Absolutely love that from Rain. This is something that I feel like Terrans are starting to do very well these days, in that it used to be that Terran players would almost immediately just go right for that Marine tank style of play and just immediately, get up their siege mode as fast as they can, push as fast as they can with a large number of Marines and tanks. But much more recently, we've been seeing all kinds of interesting openings from players where they use add-ons very creatively to start to get up some tech structures with some add-ons, and then kind of as they tech up, they kind of swap all their tech buildings around until they start to kind of transition into the mid and late game into that standard Marine siege tank play, which is very good against Zerg players in that mid game. Of course, Zerg at this point definitely wanting to be teching up right now. Is he teching to Hive Tech? We don't see any Hive Tech on the way yet. Definitely, now that his opponent is going for that Marine tank mode, he needs to be getting Hive Tech, needs to be starting to get that Guardian Shield up, or not Guardian Shield, but needs to be getting up. I actually just got confused with Brood War and Guardians. Brood Lords from Brood War. And we're actually having a big engagement here, as a lot of Lings and Banelings are being lost here. These Banelings still don't have speed, and this is exactly what I was talking about. See how easily these Marines are kiting those Banelings right now. All the Banelings being taken out here, all because DRG really didn't have that speed upgrade. He really needed to pull back until this centrifugal hooks was completed, and now Dongraegu is going to be on the ropes here with this big push of Marines and siege tanks here coming at the front of his base. Lots of Banelings being morphed in right now. They are going to have that Baneling speed. They are going to be able to move quite quickly, but the creep spread has just been constantly pushed back here by Rain, so he doesn't have a whole lot of creep spread here to work with, and now looks like he's scanning up onto the high ground. Siege tank starting to deal a lot of damage to this mineral line here down, and a queen goes down there. Definitely not something you want to lose here at this point in the game, especially since he is now on 4 hatcheries right now. DRG has taken this expansion up here, and we do have the big engagement now coming in for Rain. All the Banelings moving in and actually getting quite a few Marines. All the Marines were trapped in that little ledge right there, and they all definitely got taken out there by those Banelings. Still quite a few Banelings left over, quite a few Mutalisks on the field, so DRG in a very good spot, cleaning that up quite nicely. Rain not with the best positioning there, had all his Marines just stuck right there and got cornered in by all those Lings and Banelings, and now DRG finally getting a chance to go on the offensive, moving in with lots of Mutalisks, continuing to harass on the production tab. We can see more Mutalisks are being produced, more Zerglings being produced, and another queen for that 4th base is now coming up. Looks like he's in a very good spot right now. Rain now frantically trying to expand to his third right now, but Dongraegu on his fourth base right now is looking very, very strong right now. Continuing to be very, very aggressive with these Mutalisks, trying to harass as much as possible and trying to distract his opponent and keep his opponent from focusing down on getting his macro back up, because that's definitely not where he wants to be. He wants to keep his opponent disoriented right now with those Mutalisks, wants to keep him constantly moving back and forth, trying to keep his opponent as frustrated as possible with trying to deal with these Mutalisks. Meanwhile, he should be building lots of Lings and Banelings, and then once he feels like his opponent is in a good position for him to attack, he can just push forward with a huge push of Lings and Banelings and take out his opponent. But Rain right now is macroing fairly well here. He is currently way down in the food count though. 110 food to 192 food of DRG. Definitely not the place to be in right now. This third base just came up so late. He was really hoping to end that game on that 2 base, and that mid-game push was just taken out so well by DRG and just handled so well. And there we go, all the Marines now getting pulled back as the Lings move in and take out those siege tanks, which were all alone and stuck on all by their lonesome. Banelings going into the SCV line. Looks like they are going to be able to take out quite a few SCVs there. A lot go down there. The rest of the Banelings now moving around, actually getting taken out by that Planetary Fortress, getting quite a few kills. 28 kills on that Planetary Fortress. That is a darn good Planetary Fortress. Quite a few kills there, but Banelings continuing to stream in as well as Lings. They are going to go into that mineral line. Rain does manage to pull it off in time. He's trying to split his SCVs as well as he can, but lots of SCVs are going down to these Banelings, and we now see a ton of worker losses there. So far, 38 workers killed here for DRG, and DRG looking like he is in a fantastic spot to take this game, keeping his Mutalisks right around these barracks. Why? Because that's where the Marines are going to be produced, so he needs to keep those pinned down as much as possible, and there is the GG from FnaticRain. That means Dongraegu has managed to take Game 1 of the semifinals match, and we are going to be going into Game 2 in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, so do not move a muscle.